So you're wearing an Airbnb shirt, and you mentioned that you Airbnb. So
yeah.
It's something that I've transitioned into heavily, and I think I'm probably going to primarily focus on is short-term rentals.
Dude, money.
Yeah. The cash flow is just incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah. And I love having my houses cleaned and staying in tip-top shape. So what system do you have for, you said you have a short-term rental property manager specifically for that?
Yes.
Okay.
I cannot be trusted to manage a property. So we actually use Plushy Host. I don't know if you've heard of them. There's a bunch. If you go to airdna.com, I think it's .com, just airdna, and then you can search on their page. They have a bunch of nationwide property managers that you can go through. We did some interviewing and we ended up with Plushy. We had a local person that we're transitioning out of. So, but Plushy is pretty great. And the way that we've set up, actually, I'm going to pause. Do you have questions before I just ramble?
No, that's great. I mean, I'm curious about this because I'm a little hesitant about national organizations because I didn't know if they would actually be able to perform on a local basis. So, yeah. So I like it because they use my people. Okay.
And that's why I like it. So the way that we have it set up is after I do a lot of burr and bees. Are you familiar with the burr and bee?
I mean, similar to like a burr strategy, but it's just with a short-term rental.
Short-term at the end. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So we'll go from closing directly to the contractor who manages. I have so many things I want to say. Who manages the rehab project.
Okay.
And then as soon as that's done, he hands the keys over to our Airbnb designer who comes in and furnishes the whole thing. And then from her, it goes directly to Plushy Host, the property manager, who will do the professional photos, have the lock guy out there to install like the freaking fancy locks and do all the listing and stuff like that. And then once it's in Plushy's hand, if they have any handyman concerns or anything needs to be fixed, I've already given them all of our preferred vendors for who to call. So they're my people. Like I trust them. I use them all the time. And then same like with the cleaning and the photographer, they're all my people who I've used for my listings. Like I work with them all the time. And so that's why I feel comfortable. It's not just like, does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Economies of scale. I mean, if you're giving these people all kinds of work, then it's great that, when Plushy calls them, they know it's for you and they're going to do a great job. That's awesome. And what do they charge for that service?
So Plushy does 20%, which is, there's different tiers. So they do a 10%, a 15%, and a 20%, but I always want as hands off as possible. And I'm totally fine with paying that. So yes.
Okay. Wow. That's good. I mean, I've seen 30% is pretty common. And so you really are not like involved in these at all. I mean, you're sourcing the deal and that's about it.
Yeah. And most of the deals I do with it's me and one other, and he actually is the one who brings the deal. So it's like, but I got plenty to do. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can tell. That's interesting because I'm like much more hands-on, I think. I've got an EA that helps me primarily with the Airbnbs and it's great. I mean, she does a great job, but I'm doing like a lot of the running and stuff. And so it's interesting to hear how that system works.
It really does work well.
Yeah. Awesome. And you've had mostly 5-star reviews?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice.